Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours, and a lot to get to this afternoon as we got to talk college football, got to talk some NFL, a lot of basketball with both the Grizzlies and the Tigers in action in the next 24 hours. Tigers going tonight. The Grizzlies with their first European game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So a lot to talk about. John Morant spoke earlier today. We got some medical updates for the guys, a few of the guys that have been out for the Grizzlies. So plenty to talk about there. College basketball as well. A ton to get to. I said we were here for the next 3 hours. Actually 2.5. We've got Ole Miss Georgia basketball tonight, tip-off at 6 o'clock for that game, so we will have the pregame show starting at 5:30. So we'll get out of here just a little bit early this afternoon. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. I hope those Bulldog fans at Stegman tonight don't want to take it out on Gary Darby from 2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully they have moved past that. And,
he's got Murphy Holloway with him. That's a pretty good bodyguard.
Yeah, no, that's somebody that can protect you for sure. So that should hopefully be a fun game tonight.
What an interesting day from Berlin to Beale Street.
Yeah, no kidding. It has been a lot, and the time difference is just so wild, and everything that's happening, around middle of the day there, that's happening bright and early for us here. So it's different, getting that first taste of playing those European games. It makes it a lot different, but yes, a very newsy day for the Grizzlies, whether it's coming from Berlin or whether it's coming from Beale Street. A lot of news out there for the Grizzlies today.
And they really, really are linked. Come in Berlin. That was a great band around town in the late 80s and 90s. You couldn't go to a party, Christmas party, go out anywhere that wasn't the band. But come in Berlin for Ja, and obviously in the last hours of him as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like we're getting towards the end. Obviously, yesterday, a lot of talk about and then a lot of talk last week about will he play or will he not play in Berlin. And yesterday, Tomas Isolo saying that they were hopeful that it was, there was a chance that he would play in Berlin tomorrow. And then getting the news earlier today with the status report that he will be out for tomorrow's game. Looks like, seems like something is playing out. Things are being worked out behind the scenes, that maybe there is a deal on the way. Some sort of trade, and you don't want to get him out there. If there is something like that, it's unfortunate, obviously, for everybody involved that he's not going to be out there tomorrow, and I expect with him not playing tomorrow, he will not play as well in that game Sunday in London. So, it feels like exactly. Feels like we're getting towards the end, those kind of last couple of days with John Morant.
Even the rumor of a Laker deal popping up. Have you seen all that?
Yeah, well, what was it? Rich Paul that came out a couple days ago on his podcast and floated that out there, and then everybody with the Lakers had to kind of shut it down. At least
even threw in Jaren.
Jaren's going to be the next piece once it's official with Ja. It's already out there that teams are reaching out and asking.
Both gone
Jaren
by deadline time.
I feel like there's a good chance of it. I don't want to talk in absolutes with Jaren because, I don't know what they're going to want to do with him. I feel like if you move Ja, you go ahead and move Jaren because I think you get a lot more for Jaren at this point. But at the same time, those first reports from Shams Charania said that the idea was to build around Jaren Jackson Jr. And so I don't know what this front office is thinking right now with him, but it's certainly going to have options out there around the trade deadline.
Going to be some press conferences, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We talked about it Monday with Michael. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. There's going to be a lot of questions, and I don't know how many answers there are going to be, but there are questions that need to be and hopefully will be asked for everybody involved, and especially this front office of, the question you've been asking the last couple of days. How did we get to this point with this era of the Grizzlies and coming to an end of an era for the Grizzlies?
Is this rock bottom? For the franchise,
it's
25 years.
It's pretty close. If it's not, it's pretty close to being rock bottom.
I would love to know what would match it.
Yeah, I nothing comes to the top. of my
I throw
head,
that out there to people. Yeah. Do y'all think this is rock bottom? And one of the beautiful things of rock bottom is you start to dig back out.
Yeah, there's only one way to go, and it's up. And hopefully the Grizzlies start making their way up. And you brought it up yesterday, and once Ja Morant is dealt, and certainly when you get past the trade deadline and you see who else, if anybody else, is dealt, I mean, we're going to be talking weekly, nightly, look at these top prospects and who will be a Grizzly next year and who do you want out of this draft.
You love Cenac. That's who you want.
I don't know if I say I love him. I'd like him. He's not, 1 or 2 for me, I would say, in terms of where the Grizzlies could be drafting. But he's up there. He's 3 or 4. I like Cenac a lot. I think he's a good player figuring out. And I mean, if you're giving me a Kelvin Sampson player, somebody that played at Houston, I'll take him. I feel pretty good about a Kelvin Sampson product. So.
An Iowa point guard.
Yeah, I'm not all in on him. He's kind of had a struggle, taking that jump up to Iowa.
Run on the box office, won't it?
No, yeah, that certainly won't get it. I mean, give me the point guard at Louisville, Mikael Brown. I know he's got some injuries right now with his lower
Cedric Howard
back,
and some other pieces you'll trade for.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. That's the climb back. That's the route.
I'd be completely fine with that. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of options. But speaking of injuries, we did get injury updates for several Grizzlies. We got the return to play update for both Brandon Clark and Scottie Pippen Jr. 4 to 6 weeks return to play timeline for both of those guys. So that's the good news. It feels like you're closer getting those two back. The bad news, though, Zach Edey, after he was away from the team, going and getting other evaluations on his ankle, on his foot. Zach Edey is set to be reevaluated in 6 weeks. So you're talking about another month and a half to just be reevaluated.
That's 1st of March.
Yeah, and
that's a month left in the season.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, and he will be the biggest piece, too, even bigger than Cedric Howard for the rebuild to begin around.
I think Howard's the guy.
Okay.
I think he's the. I mean, because right now we haven't seen anything from Zach Edey. When he's out there,
right.
he's good.
That's true.
But, I mean,
not out there a lot.
This is now going to be basically. I know he's played this year, but basically a complete season lost for Zach Edey because of this injury. And I know everybody wants to say that, this is a guy that never had an injury at Purdue. That was the big selling point with getting a big where you did in the draft is he hadn't been injured. He's not going to get injured. He's reliable. He's durable. He's been anything but durable and reliable in these 2 seasons with the Grizzlies. And so I would love for him to be the guy to build around. I mean, you know me. I was not sold on him the day they drafted him. I'm still not all in, but I'm a lot closer than I was on draft day. But I mean, right now, based on everything we've seen these first 2 years and with these injuries, I can't trust him to be the centerpiece.
And for a player that size, look, he's not shrinking.
No, he's not shrinking, and
so it's still going to be that stress on those puppies.
And Brett, we have the history of guys that size, and there's a pretty good but bad track record of those guys having lower body injuries and just going through that struggle. And it feels like you're getting that. I mean, just the toll that a full season of the NBA and all of these games and the back-to-backs and the way the schedule is, I mean, it takes a toll on guys that size. So, hopefully this is just something where, in 3 or 4 years, we're laughing at the idea of man, those questions of what do you have in Zach Edey and can he be durable and reliable? But, right now I think those are real questions in kind of what the future looks like because so far it's been some injuries with him.
But in the history of the Grizzlies, what injury have we been able to look back at and laugh about and we moved on from?
That's exactly right. And certainly over these last couple of years with the way that they've piled up, and I mean, especially with Edey, I mean, it really felt like you were getting close to having him come back. I know there was a video, I don't know, I guess from one of the games a week or so ago where he's walking around without a walking boot, and people are going, okay, we're just waiting any day now. We get that update, and then you get the reports that he's getting more opinions from doctors. I think the wording, I don't have it right in front of us, but it was the wording on the Grizzlies PR was unanimous decision of all the consultation. It was unanimous that he needs to continue to rehab and take some time off. So
every doctor in the building.
Yeah. So I mean, this wasn't just, hey, we've got this doctor that says he's good, and we got the second opinion that says maybe he's not good. It's unanimous. He needs more time off. So It is a really.
I like to
really
go
good
unanimous
spot.
on any health decision, don't you?
If more than one says something, I think I think I can trust that.
I'm gonna go with that.
I feel pretty good about going in that direction, but just a really, really weird time that the Grizzlies are in right now.
So from Berlin to Beale, it also encompasses even more positive Paul news.
No.
I say that joking. The Tigers play at home tonight.
Yeah, Tigers back at home tonight against Temple, the undefeated in conference play Temple Owls, and it's weird how the schedule set up for Memphis, where 3 straight games against Owls. So a lot of Owls in the Americans. So
yeah, it is.
They'll get another Owl opponent tonight with Temple riding that 7-game win streak, and we'll see.
My favorite Owls. You know my favorite Owls.
The Rice Owls.
Rice.
Oh, nothing better than Rice. Brett loves them some Rice. That's exactly right. But we'll see if this Tiger team can bounce back after that road loss against FAU. We talked about it. We'll pick it about 3:45. 7.5-point favorite right now. We talked about Kim Pom yesterday. Projects them to win by 9 points. So we'll see if they can get around there. Maybe get into a double-digit win tonight at home. I think would be really good for the basketball in Memphis right now.
I don't think it is yet, but when we're talking the lowest points in 25 years of Grizzlies history, we moved to the Tigers, and I don't think it is at all the lowest point in Tiger basketball history right now. Mm-hmm. But it's a low point.
It's a low point, Brett, and I think you highlighted it yesterday. I think it was when we were talking with maybe Matt Infield yesterday, and you said 2 words that are not synonymous with good times with Memphis basketball. Tick price. So when you're talking tick price,
I sure did.
You're at
dreadful.
You're at a low point. It might not be the lowest point, but you're not having a lot of success.
No. And I don't think there's been a losing record since that year that Johnny Jones had to take on being the coach. Since then,
yeah, I am trying to look real quick, and so far, that would be the last year. Going through it, that's the last year the Tigers were under 500.
And Brian, that was in a conference that looks like the NBA Eastern Conference compared to this conference.
Oh yeah, I mean it is. Let's look at some of the.
And even with poor crowds, both of the tick price years and that year for Johnny Jones, it was still around 9,000 or 10,000 at the Pyramid.
Sure, yeah, and we're not seeing that right now.
I was there for
Tigers.
Not all, but most of them.
Yeah, no, I know you were. So. I don't know what the crowd will look like tonight. I'm unfortunately not expecting much against Temple tonight.
It's where we are.
Yeah, no, it is where we are, and so hopefully it's a win, and then you turn around and you go play UTSA.
It feels like administratively, Ed Scott and people are okay about where we are.
Yeah. I mean, haven't heard anything obviously from them. So I don't know what is going through their heads, but I'm sure they're not thrilled with it, with not only the result but the attendance. But maybe you can get something going here. Temple, UTSA on Sunday, and then going into next week with a Tulsa team that has not played as well in conference play as they did in non-conference play, and maybe rattle off a couple wins and get some sort of momentum, get some sort of confidence going with this Tiger team. We'll
look at Utah State.
Yeah, no, that's a big one.
Play them in about a month, and they're 14-1.
That's right, 14-1. They won over the weekend against Boise State. They also, I believe, play tonight in a conference game. So,
against Nevada.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big one and is going to be a tough one. Right now they are top 25 on Kim Pom, so the computers really like this Utah State team, and in Logan that place is always rocking and will be rocking for that non-conference game. So. We'll see what happens. We'll talk a lot more about that here at the end of this hour when we make our predictions for tonight's game. But some big college football news that I wanted to touch on before we set up today's show. We have a player that has decided to come back to college, Dante Moore, who you look around at mock drafts. I went and looked earlier today when I saw that he was making his announcement today. I went ESPN, CBS Sports, Pro Football Focus, On3. I think there was maybe Sporting News, one other one that I went to. unanimous number 2 pick in the NFL draft
to the
Jets. Dante Moore. He made the decision.
Broadway Dante.
Yeah, that's right. And Broadway no more, Dante.
No.
As he has decided to go back to
Main
Oregon.
Dragon Eugene Dante.
Oh, man, I'd love to see that Main Dragon in Eugene.
I bet it's something.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very similar to what
when you
Broadway
impress
looks like.
Pat McAfee with some of your abilities in Eugene.
That's right. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be it's definitely something. But he's returning, so that will throw a wrench into a lot of the mock drafts, and we'll see. That Oregon team really good this year. We'll see. Obviously, with him coming back, they'll be in a good spot. But a weird storyline with him returning, because just last week, Dylan Raiola, the quarterback from Nebraska, he signed with Oregon. A lot of people thought Dante goes to the draft. Raiola would be the starting quarterback this year, but all reports indicate that Raiola gonna stay at Oregon, sit behind Dante Moore next season, and
Friday's it in the portal.
Yeah, no, that's right, and then.
That's it, isn't it? I mean, it's no summertime, no August.
Yeah, no, there's no spring or summer or any portal. You have to have your name in by Friday.
You have to really be committed.
That's right. So it's going to be a lot of these places. It's going to get interesting because for so long there we had, and I guess not so long, but for a couple of years there you had the spring window, and guys go to spring practice and they realize, hey, this isn't my job. I'm going to go somewhere else where I can have that job. And yeah, I'm pretty sure no spring portal this year. So Raiola going to sit behind Dante Moore, and then he will be the guy come 2027. It looks like same thing that Raiola did, coming in behind Dylan Gabriel, sitting for a year, and then becoming the main guy this year. So maybe Oregon finding something with the way they like to have their quarterbacks come in, learn the system for a year, and then become the guy in year 2. But we'll talk a lot of college football today, a lot of other things to discuss. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Coach Tommy West. He'll join us, talk some college football, plenty to get to with Coach Tommy West. We'll talk about those semifinal games. We'll talk the national championship game. We'll also talk other stories around the world of college football. 3:45, we'll get back into the conversation about the Tigers and Temple tonight, 7 o'clock at FedEx Forum. We'll also make our pick, Tiger Bankroll, as the Tigers are a 7.5-point favorite right now over the third straight Owls that they have played over the last couple of weeks. 4 o'clock, David Cohn, co-host of Crane and Cohn, now part of On 3. He'll join us to talk a lot more college football. Obviously, we'll get to these games that have happened, the semifinal games, this national championship game on Monday, but we'll also get to a lot of these stories coming out of the transfer portal, the Dante Moore news, as he is going to return to Oregon for another year, so plenty to talk about at 4 o'clock. 4:30, we'll switch gears, talk some NFL, as we'll rank the remaining NFL quarterbacks in the playoffs. Should be fun. The list's going to look a lot different than how we did it last year or the year before, with a lot of new names in there at the quarterback position.
One Super Bowl winner in that.
That's crazy to even think about, but that will be a lot of fun at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated at CBB_Central. He'll join us, talk a lot of college basketball. We'll talk with Kevin about 18, 19 minutes or so. We'll wrap up with him, and then we'll get to an early Moe's Crunch Time. We got to be out here because we'll have Ole Miss pregame at 5:30 with that tip-off against Georgia at 6 o'clock. Let me remind you, in our Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together, and the floor model spa sale is going on at Family Leisure. It's time to make room. Deep discounts on over 100 display models and in-stock hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges. Been dreaming about a new spa? Now is the time to buy. Spas as low as $99 a month. Over $1,000 in free upgrades with every spa purchase. $8,000 spas, only $159 a month. Free LED lights and waterfall on most models. So head out there. Great deals over at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
Always in our Family Leisure Studios, and you're right about the great deals. He's Brian, I'm Brett. We're Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock. Our producer is Landon Schmidt, and we want you to be a part of our show at 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. Hit us up. Tell us where you think the Grizzlies are. I say it's the all-time low point in franchise history. Tell me how differently you feel about it. We'd love to hear from you at 901-360-8255. This hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design that make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is that the Tigers, they go to Berlin, and, Brett, a lot of times people say, sometimes when maybe the juju is bad, the vibes are down, things aren't going right, you just need to get away. Go somewhere different, get out of town, go on a vacation, do something. So I kind of like the Grizzlies going to Berlin.
Take it to Europe.
But things didn't get any better. I mean, the bad news just continues to come out. The vibes did, in fact, get worse with, starting over there in Berlin, Ja Morant speaking today.
That rough and tumble German media guy.
Yeah, I mean, who knew that the German media were so rough? But he talked to the media, gave a lot of one-word, one-sentence answers, and then we learned a little bit after that Ja Morant would be out in the Berlin game tomorrow afternoon, and not even listed as questionable, anything like that. A straight out. And we've been kind of talking a lot about it, of would he play, would he not play, and kind of thought, okay, this is a guy with the calf contusion. He was questionable for a while. Now going over in an international marquee game for the NBA, felt like he would be out there and play. I think a lot of people have said this, and it feels, looking at this situation, that this probably means something is in the motion of a deal being placed. So we got that news, and then there were some videos over there, him and Vince having a very heated discussion. Who knows what they were talking about, but very heated. There was a report, or at least a rumor that went out there, that Ja Morant had bought a house down in Miami, a $3.2 million beautiful house down in Miami a couple weeks ago. Then we come back to Memphis, where Grizzlies PR puts out the reports, the updates on the guys that have been out. And the good news, we got a couple guys that are getting closer to returning. But the bad news, Zach Edey going to be reevaluated in 6 weeks. We know what that reevaluated term means, especially with the Grizzlies. And Brett, you said it, and I completely agree. I do not think we see Zach Edey on the court again with the Grizzlies this season. So it feels like a lot going to happen. And Brett, by the end of the season, by that last month of the year, we might not be able to recognize some of the 5-man rotations that hit the court for the Grizzlies.
How often will we text, look at this 5 on the floor?
Oh yeah, no, it will probably be a lot, but it feels like that's the direction that this team is heading. And maybe you can get a little positive with a win tomorrow, but right now it's a lot of bad for the Grizzlies.
My top story, and I think the first time ever, Dateline Berlin. Sullen and insolent until the very end, Ja. Don't go changing. Whatever continent you're in, wherever you are, time zone, don't go changing. Go all the way over there to basically say up yours. What happened to we got the West? What happened to call 12? We called through the international operator to Germany and got hung up on. Can't wait until this franchise-crushing player is gone, and then the rebuild can begin. And it's going to be tough. We're going to dig out of a lot of rubble, a lot that he left. And there's no way Wexler and Kleinman should oversee the rebuild. No way.
No, they absolutely should not.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, the Tigers back in action tonight against Temple, back at home after that road loss against Florida Atlantic, against a Temple team on a 7-game win streak. And 3-0 in conference play. But you look at some of those teams that they've beaten on the 7-game win streak. Georgian Court. I don't have anything on Georgian Court. I don't have much on that. St. Francis, Davidson, Princeton, Charlotte, UTSA, and East Carolina. So 7 wins in a row. I can't knock that with any team. You're definitely playing well if you win 7 games in a row, sitting at 11-5 on the season. But Temple has not faced a super tough schedule this season. The best team they've played, Villanova, and outside of that, no other top 100 KenPom teams on their schedule before the start of conference play. So we'll see what this Tigers team will look. This will certainly be a better team that Temple has faced, but they're playing with a lot of confidence. On the other side, that Tigers team was not playing with a lot of confidence against FAU. Penny Hardaway coming out Monday night during his coach's show, apologizing to the fans for the way the team played at FAU. Well, let's see how the team apologizes to the fans. If they show better effort, show a little bit more tonight at home against Temple.
My not top story is tonight. The crowd will be thin. That's just where we are with Tiger basketball, and we're at a potentially a place in Tiger basketball we never thought we would approach, and sure not in year 8 of Penny Hardaway. Okay, maybe if it started the first year or two was stumbling and a little bit klutzy, but in year 8, you're going to a game tonight, and the Tigers have only been over 500 one time all year and can't even get there tonight, can get to 500 tonight. And the crowds are thin because there's been, really for the entire time, there's been no Penny Mania. And then COVID, and then the biggest thing, the lack of NCAA tournament advancement. And therein lies, I think, the problem for year 9 or 10 or 11 or whatever. Only thing that's going to make it better is advancing in the NCAA tournament. I have two huge data points on my side to say that Ja hadn't been successful in Memphis and that Penny hadn't been successful in Memphis. And for Ja, 1 playoff win. That's it. Yeah. That's the debate ender, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for Penny, no NCAA tournament advancement worth talking about.
Yeah, no, you're right. It just has not been anything there in postseason play for either of them. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break. And when we return, we're talking college football. Coach Tommy West, he joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Your Memphis Tiger men's basketball team is back home for another big conference matchup. The Tigers take on the UTSA Roadrunners Sunday, January 18th at 5 at FedEx Forum. Join us as we honor and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in partnership with the National Civil Rights Museum, including a special ticket pack that features a complimentary ticket to the museum. Plus, the first 1,000 fans will receive a Thierno Sella trading card. Get your tickets now by visiting GoTigersGo.com for more information or to grab your seats today. Go Tigers Go!
Here's what sets NST Law apart. They don't just work in Memphis, they ride for Memphis. From school fundraisers to courtroom battles, they show up where it matters. And when someone in this city gets hurt, NST goes toe-to-toe with insurance giants. No fear, no favors. It's not just the law to them, it's loyalty. And if you ever need backup after a crash, NST's got your back. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or check out nstlaw.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every playoff moment feel bigger. DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HERD. That's promo code HERD to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Don't miss a minute of the NBA G League excitement when your Memphis Hustle hosts the Texas Legends tonight at 7 p.m. Bring your crew and bring the noise to the Landers Center, the loudest spot in the Mid-South. Get your tickets now at memphishustle.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Wrapping up this wreck on 240 westbound here at Airways. It's been over here for quite a while. It looks like it's in its wrap-up stages. Just hang in there. Again, a little bit of a delay there on 240 westbound at Airways. Now, traffic's been slow. 40 east coming over from West Memphis a little bit earlier. And it's starting to build even more so now on I-40 eastbound at Sycamore Road all the way out into Fayette County. Hey, make a difference by adopting a pet at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County. Check out the cats and dogs that are available for adoption. Log on to their website, memphisHumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some college football. And joining us now, like he does at this time on Wednesdays, Coach Tommy West joins us now. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to, but let's start with those semifinal games last week. And let's start with the Ole Miss-Miami game, a really fun back-and-forth game. Ultimately, it was Miami who drives down, gets the touchdown, and then after that, really just not enough time for Ole Miss to respond. Time runs out. Miami advances to the national championship game. What did you make of that first semifinal game?
Well, I thought that, and it said last week that I really thought Ole Miss's offense would outscore Miami, but that wasn't the case, and that's where I knew Miami would get some points off their defense. But coming in, Ole Miss had scored 39 points on Georgia. And that I guess skewed a little bit, but they've been putting up a lot of points, and I thought the Ole Miss offense didn't play good enough to win the game.
And Coach, on that last drive, I promise you during it, I said I know I'm going to ask, Coach West this next week. A team that liked to rush with 3, maybe 4 all year, but rarely blitz, lay back and cover, a lot of zone. What's going through a coach's mind? Do you go, okay, let's dial up a blitz? What's the fear in doing that?
I don't have any. Unless you just feel like that your corners or that you can't cover. But I don't think that was the case. I think that's just what they are. I think that's the kind of defense they are. Is they're kind of a sit back. Pretty good. I call it a bend, don't break, and they've been okay. Their offense has been outstanding all year. They've been okay on defense, good enough to help win games. I like to be in that situation. I personally like to be a little bit more pressure. You can't let the guy sit back there and have time to throw it.
Yeah, and he did, and he was comfortable with it. And then Carson Beck made a play with the. Ole Miss was so concerned about the arm, and he made a play with the feet, and that won the game.
Yeah. Well, they didn't get there, and then he found a lane and got through it. So, that can happen. So what do y'all think at the end? Should the interference have been called or not?
Coach, I was parallel with the pylon as the play unfolded, and Deshaun Stribling got one hand on it. I thought they were both giving it as good as the other one was getting it. And it shouldn't be a call, and you cannot make that call.
I agree 100%. In the first quarter, you probably make that call. Maybe in the second and third quarter you make, but you try every way you can as an official to not determine the outcome of the game. And I didn't think at that time it has to be flagrant if you're going to make that call. And I agree with you 100%. I think there's a lot of pushing and shoving going back and forth both ways. So I agree. Good call.
I think even at any other time of the game, since both were giving it and getting it, and in these playoffs they have let them play, I just don't think there was a flag. I don't.
No, I don't either. I agree 100%. Yeah, and you can argue any way you want, but
no, I would have taken one, and on the next play from the 20, Trinidad runs a quarterback draw and walks in, and I'm headed to Miami Beach this week. I would have loved that to happen, but I don't like the people that, you know, we got cheated, we got robbed. I don't think that was the case at all.
No, you know, you always it's like when the kicker misses a field goal to win. I mean, there are a lot of chances during the game to have won the game. Other than that one play.
Look at the Sugar Bowl, and look at the Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss overcame. Now, they didn't have time to overcome it after the non-call because that was the end of the game.
Right.
But Ole Miss overcame the missed face mask. Thank goodness. You usually have enough time to overcome it, but I just did not think it was a penalty.
I didn't either. I agree 100%. You know, I think you're always depends on which side you're on.
Yeah, it absolutely does. The other semifinal game, I mean, it wasn't even really a game. Indiana all over Oregon. What'd you make of really just the way that Indiana was able to win that game?
Well, you know, I thought coming in that, I was disappointed in Oregon's defense against James Madison, gave up over 500 yards. Then they come back against Texas Tech and shut out a really, really good offensive team, shut them out. Then you go into this game, and well, the big thing to me was first off, Oregon turned it over 3 times, pick 6 to start the game, and then the quarterback drops the ball back at the 2-yard line. I mean, you're not going to win when you do that. But man, I'm going to tell you, Indiana looked really, really good. The thing I like about Indiana right now, I know everybody loves their offense and their defense. When you go through and you look at the statistics defensively for Indiana, the stats that matter to me are points a game is number one. I mean, that obviously if you don't give up any points, you're not going to lose. They're second in the country defensively in giving up points a game. They give up 11 a game. Third down percentage, they're 8th in the country. To me, that's a big one. Can you get off the field? And then rushing, which shows your toughness, they're second in the country in rushing defense. Wow. So their defense is also – their offense is great, but their defense is really, really good too.
That's about every check mark in the defensive statistic board in the defensive room.
Well, if you look at the stats with Indiana and Miami, they're really pretty equal as far as third down percentage defensively. They're tied for 8th in the country at 30.3, both of them. Miami's 5th in the country in points a game, giving up 14. Rush, Miami's 6th in the country. The only stat that really jumps out is rushing offense, where Indiana is 12th in the country, and Miami's 71st in the country. That's the only one that there's kind of a big difference there. So, we'll see who can run the ball in the game.
I think next Wednesday, if Indiana does what I think they will do and win pretty handily, pretty dominating style, we're going to look back, and we get it every now and then in the NC basketball tournament. UConn did it a few years ago. North Carolina did it in 2009 or so. You get a team that, and I like to do it every year after the tournament's over. If we replayed the entire tournament, would we have the same champion? And I think if we replayed the entire college football season this year, if we did it 100 times, Indiana would be standing 100 times.
I think you're right. I think Indiana has proven, boy, and it's killing a lot of new coaches. Because now,
man,
now
why aren't you Kurt Cignetti?
There's no grace period anymore. Cignetti has proven that you don't have to wait 3 or 4 years to bring it in. He's proven.
Coach West, I said it yesterday. Have you seen that 2014 bracket? I told Bryant yesterday. I said between the 2014 bracket and what Cignetti's done, everybody's got a 2-year window.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
you better be in that bracket.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you something else that Indiana, as good as Indiana is, we talked about, it always brings me back to Penn State because I'm still mesmerized by what in the flip happened to Penn State to lose those 3 games in a row that they lost, and then they fired Franklin. But now go back, even after they had fired Franklin, Indiana had to make a miracle drive at the end of the game to beat Penn State. Mm-hmm. and that's how good a team Penn State had this year.
Yep.
And what happened there, I still wish I knew.
Yeah, I think you were the one that mentioned it a month or so ago earlier in the season, talking about, whenever we get that documentary, that 30 for 30 or that book, I mean, something, we've got to know what happened behind the scenes with this Penn State team this year.
Too good a football team.
Absolutely too good of a team. The news today, Dante Moore going to return to Oregon. I know you have watched him a handful of times this season. Your thoughts on him and I mean, obviously Oregon in a good spot, bringing back their starting quarterback that in most mock drafts was the clear number 2 pick.
Yeah, I think that's huge for Oregon. And, I'm not as discouraged about what Indiana did to them as a lot of people probably. Again, it goes back to West Coast football. It's what we've always said here in the South and the Southeast is that, how physical are they? How tough. I know they can go fast. I know that, they got a bunch of California kids that are great athletically, but how physically tough really are they? And I thought that showed in the Indiana game. I know the quarterback's great, but they also ran the ball on them. And Indiana's backs are tough, hard-nosed guys. But I think Oregon's going to have to learn. And Lanning should be that guy. I mean, he knows Southern football.
Yep, sure should.
But they got to get more physical as a football team.
What do you think of a potential 2014 playoff bracket?
I don't really know. I'm not disappointed with what we have. I don't think. I think you could actually say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I don't think it's broke. I don't think our playoff system's broke. I enjoy the first round games being on campuses. I think that's neat. Now, and there's going to be people disappointed regardless. I know everybody goes, well, 13. If you got 12, 13, 14, 15, they're going to be disappointed. If you got 24, 25, 26, 27, we're going to be disappointed. I get all that. I'm not opposed to it. I'll say that, but I don't really, to be honest, I don't really know it. I don't really have a strong opinion about it.
I'm pretty mixed like you are. I'm okay by this. I know we're not going back. I was fine with 2. I was fine with 4. I would have been fine with 8. I'm fine by 12. I know I know it's expanding. I'm going to be fine then, but it's a little still unfulfilling.
Yeah, I agree. And and I know, we all know what's going to enter in. Another round would produce a lot more money.
Oh, yeah. Billions. We got to have more money.
Yep.
Yeah, there's never enough money, is it, Coach?
No, at the end of the day, that's what'll carry it.
Yeah. Coach, we always have to have hardwood floors and ice makers. There's never enough money, is there?
Hey, the thing is, to me, the playoff, to me, is not – it's what are we going to do with these conference championship games?
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? I mean, are we going to use them against teams? Or are we going to get contractual to where players can't opt out of? Coaches can't leave. I mean, I know we can't do away with conference championship games. There's way too much money involved in that. Steph, you probably know. What does the SEC championship game generate?
Well, I don't know the exact number. It's big, but it's not the line item it used to be. It used to really make a difference, and now, it's just out there in the ether at budget meeting times. It's not the big. I mean, it doesn't have the big swing it used to have.
Well, then maybe there's a chance, but something to me somehow we've got to correct that part of it.
No.
Yeah.
Either if you're going to play in conference, you got to have your guys if you're going to go play them. And then, right there when we thought Georgia wasn't going to be in the conference, I mean, I thought they were sitting pretty. I mean, they're going to get, a week off from that before they play. I mean, at the end of the year, that's pretty important. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
Is Georgia the sickest team out there? Are they the ones thinking, boy, we had a lot more meat on the bone?
I would think so.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it wasn't a fluke that Ole Miss beat them. I mean, Ole Miss should have beat them the first time, or certainly could have. I don't say should.
Yeah, that fourth quarter was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, did Ole Miss ever punt in the game? If they did,
finally did. Georgia never did. Ole Miss, I think, ended up punting 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, so and then then Ole Miss comes back and scores 39 points on them in the playoffs. So I mean, it wasn't like Ole Miss was a fluke to beat them. I mean, I thought, and we said it for 2. I thought Ole Miss was a better football team this year than Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
if I got to start my college team next year, I know whose quarterback I'm going to take.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Ole Miss's quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good one. If we can get him eligible, a lot of billable hours between now and then, Coach.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Coach, before we let you go, your prediction for the national championship game in Miami, who you taking, the Hurricanes or Indiana?
There's no way I could go against Indiana, but I do think it's going to be a closer game than people think because we watched the Oregon thing. I don't see Miami handing them 14 points like Oregon did. So I think it'll be a closer game, but I don't know how would you ever pick against Indiana right now?
You can't
do it.
Can't do it at all. Hopefully it is a good one on Monday. Coach, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll do it again next Wednesday.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach Tommy West. Just spectacular every week having him. And sadly, next week with college football ending, that'll be the last time we visit with Coach Tommy West. Boy, when I texted him that today, it stung this week and next, and that'll wrap it up for another fun year. And he was on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, the official jeweler of the hometown teams like the Grizzlies and the Tigers, and that great location at 4542 Poplar and Perkins in Laurelwood. With the Super Bowl of love coming up, Valentine's, the perfect place. All right, if you didn't get it just right at Christmas time, you still got a chance, guys and gals. Stop by that 9,000 square foot store with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. The Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, necklaces, earrings since 1970 with all the great locations across the Mid-South. Sissy's, they offer a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts, and the official jeweler for the Memphis Grizzlies and at FedEx Forum with the Floor Seat Lounge. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, let's get to another break. When we return, we got to talk Tiger basketball. They're back in action tonight against Temple. We'll also make our picks. Tiger bankroll as Memphis a 7.5-point favorite against the Owls. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Tigers back in action tonight against Temple, a Temple team riding a 7-game win streak. Team that has won 11 games this season, 11-5 on the year, 3-0 in conference play. Tigers at home will look to hand them their first conference loss of the season, their first loss since December 6th. So they went most of December without a loss and have gotten out to a nice start to start the 2026 calendar year. We'll see what this Tiger team looks like tonight. 7.5-point favorite. And we'll see what it looks like against this Temple team that's playing with a lot of confidence.
Pretty solid coaching job being turned in at Temple, and I don't think it's anything great about them. What do you think their strategy should be tonight? Should it be hurry up, be patient, shoot threes? What would you do against Memphis?
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, based on what I've seen from Temple and just kind of looking at some of their numbers, I think it's just play their game because I think the way that they play their game could give Memphis a lot of fits. Right now, they don't turn the ball over really at all. 8.8 turnovers per game for Temple
Memphis does
this season, and Memphis does. Now, on the other side of that, Temple doesn't force a lot of turnovers, but a lot of times Memphis forces their own turnovers. So you don't turn the ball over a lot. They shoot the three ball really well, about 38% per game. So, I mean, if you're knocking down threes, if you're not turning the ball over, I feel like offensively you're in a good spot against Memphis. Maybe try to confuse them a little bit, throw a zone at them. Defensively, we know that has hurt Penny Hardaway teams in the past. This Temple team's a lot better offensively than they are defensively. So I think it starts with their offense. I think it starts with playing the game they've played all season. It could give the Tigers some fits.
That 38% from three. I sometimes, Brian, I don't know if the percentage means as much as the number of makes.
Yeah.
Even if you got to really start chunking it, I think to pull any kind of upset on the road, and 7.5-point favorites is pulling upset on the road, I think you got to make 9 or 10.
No, I think you do, and I think it's a good point by you. I mean, you really got to light it up, and they've got a couple of really good 3-point shooters, or decent 3-point shooters on their team, and you look the way that they've shot the ball over these last couple of games. You had just looking at their last 2 games, 9 made threes against UTSA, 10 made threes against East Carolina. Now, one of those was on the road, or excuse me, both those games were home games, so a little bit different in a road environment. But they show that they can go out there and get in that double-digit range for made 3-pointers. But you're right, they're going to need something like that, I think, tonight if they want to pull off the upset against the Tigers.
If they make 10 threes, Memphis makes 7 or less. Memphis, as prone to foul as they have been all year, and you get up to 20, 21, 22 fouls, Temple can pull this upset. But I'll start at Memphis minus 7.5. I'm going to stay with the Tigers. I lead barely. I'm at 10.50. Bryant, you're at 10.40. I'm going to stay with the Tigers. I'm going to wager 20 and lay the 7.5.
Okay. Landon, do you want to go next? Or you want me to go next?
Sure, I'll go next.
Landon's at 865 for the year.
Yeah, I've taken a few hits in these past few games.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. Not going to try to make it all back. Certainly not going to try to do it all in this game, but I think I'm going to take a little bit of a risk. I'm going to go with Temple for 20.
Okay, going against Landon's 5-10 picking the Tigers. I'm 6-9. Bryant, you're 9-6 and only trailing by 10. Really,
yeah.
my lead was one big lucky wager.
It absolutely was. I think looking at this game, we said it time and time again this season with Tiger basketball games. I think the line is in a is placed in a great spot for this game, and so it makes it a little more tricky. I think I'm going to take Temple. I think I'm going to ride with the Owl Wave. You look at these last two games against Rice and against Florida Atlantic, and I believe both those teams covered against the Tigers. So I will ride with the Owls again. I'll take them for $20, and we'll see if Temple can keep this game close. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully it's a big Tiger win, but I'll ride the Owl Wave.
Yeah. Well, you talk about the line set. I think this is a little high, and I still took Memphis.
Yeah, I mean that's with this Tiger team. I mean it's hard to be confident in them, being in close to that double-digit win range and getting to 8, 9, even 10-point wins. So I think it's in a decent spot for what this Temple team is, what this Tiger team is. But obviously, I did want to mention again before we got to a break, going to be a tough night for the Temple Owls as the news came out yesterday morning. Bill Courtney, the assistant head coach who had just joined the coaching staff ahead of this season, had been at Miami for a handful of years, was a head coach with Cornell for a handful of years before moving to an assistant position. He passed away yesterday, the school announcing that yesterday morning. So definitely going to be a sad night for those Temple players as they're on the road for this game tonight. But we'll see what happens later at FedEx Forum. Again, a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight, the game on ESPN Plus if you're not making it down there. So it will be a streaming-only game tonight. But let's get to another break, and when we return, talk some more college football. David Cohn, co-host of Crane and Cohn, he joins us next.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at codesdispensary.com. That's codesdispensary.com.
Family Leisure doesn't do anything small. It's always got to be big, just like the world's biggest spa sale. Happening right now at Family Leisure. Check this out. You can get spas starting under $3,000. Spas and even swim spas, they're up to 30% off. Floor model spas have even bigger special prices. Cold plunges are all the trend right now. Take the plunge starting under $5,000. You see a patio furniture set you like? You could get a free umbrella with it. Ask an associate for details. Plus, swimming pools are clearance price now through the end of October. Get yours before the prices increase. That is with any big sale. Special financing, it's available. The only thing small during the world's biggest spa sale at Family Leisure are the prices. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
I can't tell you the number of times I've heard people tell me that they wanted to wait until spring to put their home on the market. This is Sheldon Rosengarten at Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and think about it. In March, April, when the azaleas bloom, so do the real estate signs. More competition. We've been in an unusual market in the last year, and to get an edge on other homes on the market, make sure and talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. I've developed a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. From the preparation before you go on the market to the presentation and keeping you informed every step of the way, it's rare that we cannot provide results. That's why people often say, when you want the job done, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Write it down or call me now, memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We're a little bit better on 240 westbound here in Airways, where we had a crash earlier. I tell you, it's been really slow and frustrating over in Clinton County this afternoon with some road work 40 eastbound just before you get to the Hernando Basilio Bridge. Again, coming over from West Memphis has been a challenge. Hey, Weiler's Jewelry is your full-service family-owned jewelry store. Stop by and see them this bridal season that's coming up. 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck when you're on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
We're back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Wednesday afternoon. We got to talk some more college football, and joining us like he does to start the second hour every Wednesday during the football season is David Cohn, the co-host of Crane and Cohn, now a part of On 3. He joins us now to talk some college football. David, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to, but let's start with those semifinal games. Let's talk about the Ole Miss and Miami game, a really back-and-forth game. Ultimately, Miami is the one that scores last. They win the game. What did you make of that matchup between the Hurricanes and the Rebels?
Yeah, well, first off, happy to be with you guys. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited for this national championship game coming up. And, man, did we have some good semifinals. And hats off to Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. You know, I told you guys last week that if Indiana wins this national championship, it'll probably be the best thing that could happen to this sport right now, given the fact they have no five-star players and they're one of the losingest programs in the history of the sport. And I said, but if Ole Miss wins it, it'll be the second best story because you got a coach who left a program for a different team in the same league. And how much will that galvanize a group of young men who go out there and compete and be able to make it to a national championship game? And honestly, Miami really thoroughly dominated a lot of aspects of that game. Great on third down, perfect on fourth down. I think they held Ole Miss to 2 for 10 on third down, which is hard to do when you got a signal caller as good as Trinidad Chambliss. Ole Miss still ran for 121, something like that. Committed fewer penalties. That's really what was hurting Miami there. And they got dominated in a lot of ways, but they still found a way to take the lead there, forced Carson Beck to have a legacy drive and scramble for that touchdown at the end. And so I thought it was a fantastic football game, and I tip my hat to the season that Ole Miss had.
I went to the two best college football games of my life in back-to-back Thursdays. One went the way I wanted it, the other one didn't. But that sports, David, and with the SEC's exit and with the Big Ten's prominence in Indiana, very heavily favored coming up Monday night, and their performance in the other semifinal game that I know we're going to get to, but we know what happened. The baton has been passed, and as a Southern guy that played in the Big Ten, you know it very well. I didn't play anywhere, but I am a Southern guy, but I recognize that the baton has been passed. The Big Ten right now, they are superior. It is Big Ten supremacy. That doesn't kill me to say it was a really great long SEC run. I don't think this Big Ten run will be as long, but it is 3 years and counting.
Okay, I'm really glad you brought this up because we dove into this on Crane and Cone this week. I would encourage everyone to go watch our episode on our YouTube channel or on podcast feeds where we talked about, is the SEC still the dominant force in college football? And I do think I have a unique perspective, like you brought up, being a kid from South Georgia who went 1,000 miles away from home to play quarterback at Michigan. And I never intended to do that. That's just the way that my personal experience worked out. And yes, I am biased being from Georgia, but I do think the American South has the greatest collection of high school football recruits, one for the level of passion that we have for the sport down here. And I think that, we send our best athletes to play football, to go play college football. And it's not to discredit other great high school football states like Ohio or California or pockets like outside of New Jersey and D.C. So I do think the American South still does have like a geographical advantage to the recruits. But yeah, like you said, in an era where you're able to pay players to leave, and they can leave at any time with the transfer portal, there's a lot more parity, especially when you talk about some of these big brands like Michigan and like the Ohio State Buckeyes and like Notre Dame. And I think what surprised me most here with this 3-year drought for the SEC is not just that they haven't had the champion, but they haven't even had a team in the championship game. And, I do think that I want to just encapsulate what I said on that episode that we put out this week, which is when I was growing up and falling in love with college football, which was right around the start of the BCS to when I went to Michigan in 2006, what we're discussing right now wasn't that abnormal. Think about some of those great championship games with USC in Texas, right? And you had Miami and Ohio State, even Florida State taking on Virginia Tech with Michael Vick. I mean, I think the SEC had Tennessee win in 98 and then Saban with LSU in 2003. Correct. And so historically, like, there are great football programs across this country, and whenever they'd match up in a national championship, not that surprising. Then what happens? In 2006, the SEC goes on a run like we've never seen, and they won 13 out of 17, and they absolutely dominated the sport. And really what we were concentrating on with our conversation this week is, well, what makes a conference the best? Is it the depth of a conference? Well, even the SEC can hardly beat its chest about that now because you've lost so many out-of-conference games, and a lot of people don't want to count bowl games, but you got some teams that some teams aren't opting out at all. Some teams have all their starters playing, and look, at the end of the day, a football game is a football game. And, what we've been told for the last 15 or 20 years is that, well, it's the conference that has the most champions and the most different champions, and now the Big Ten looks like they're going to have 3 in a row, but potentially if Indiana finishes this thing out. But, I think that the SEC is going to be just fine, and they are still going to be a premier conference in this sport. And another thing you have to look at is the eyeballs that go to games. I know that doesn't necessarily translate to win and losses on the field, but there's so many mid-tier SEC matchups every Saturday that I get so excited about that I don't think other conferences can say that, and I think that will benefit the SEC moving forward.
I think one of the biggest things that's hurt the SEC in this 3-year run is the lack of physicality across from 1 to 16 and 16 to 1, top to bottom, bottom to top. I think with all the 5 wide, pass first, pass happy on first down, you just can't be physical on Tuesday and Wednesday doing that in practice if you're going to play like that on Saturday, and that's what you're practicing. And I think the SEC has really forgotten how to get the ball on the wide side of the field and run that ball right into that tackle box, into the boundary, and make it be smash mouth physical football. I think it's gotten away from that.
Well, you bring up a good point, because it is a mixture and it is a balance. And I think with Miami, what they're doing up front right now on both sides of the ball kind of speaks to your point a little bit. There's a reason they've kind of gone on this run. And then Indiana, in a very different way, says, look, we don't need any 5-star players on our team. We need to develop the players that we have, and we need to instill a high-level championship culture and put a chip on our shoulder. I think there are more teams within the SEC conference that could certainly be doing that. But, again, I think you have to look, what I say, 13 of 17, okay, until 3 years ago. And then what all happened? One, Nick Saban retired. He accounted for half those championships. Two, you do have NIL just taking off where you can pay these players for better or worse. I'm sure your listeners have a lot of different opinions about the issue. And then, like I said, the transfer portal opening where anyone can leave at any given time. And I do think an increase in parity across the country will benefit the health of the sport long term. And honestly, I think that if it makes the SEC and the powers that be there with Greg Sankey go into a room and say, okay, we can't stand for this. We are the premier conference in college football. We need to get back on top, and it makes them even better, then guess what? That's what sports is all about. If you're not the starting quarterback and you want to be the starting quarterback, you go in a room and you work on it in the off season and you figure it out. So I think that the SEC, another thing that has surprised me here, like I said, not just having not the champion, but not even a team in the championship game, this also comes at a time after Texas and Oklahoma have been added with the conference expansion. So that also is a little bit surprising, but again, I think the SEC will be just fine. They just have to figure out a way in this era where a lot of these programs are starting to take more of an NFL model. They have general managers. They have dollars allocated for certain positions. Once all the teams in the league figure that out, I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Going to the other semifinal game, Indiana just continues to impress. I mean, the way that they have won these games, the teams that they have beaten, especially over these last three games, has been super impressive. It's fun, kind of seeing all of the people that, never really watched Indiana during the regular season. Now, because it's the playoffs, are like, oh, man, this team's pretty good. Like, no kidding. They've been really, really good all year long. But what did you make of the way that Indiana was able to win that game over Oregon?
I mean, anything they want to do, they can. I mean, look at Fernando Mendoza. There's a reason he won the Heisman Trophy. If you give him free release on the outside, he's going to take it in the quick game. If you come up and press, he's going to throw the back shoulder. If you cover the back shoulder, he's going to throw it over the top. And then, as if that isn't enough, with those wide receivers of Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. and the Becker kid, then you have to deal with Hemby and Black, two really good running backs. Then on the defensive side of the football, they're very fundamental. They're not committing mistakes. They're not committing penalties. I mean, it's just hard to beat a team like that also has good athletes. And that's the thing that gets overlooked so often when we talk about Indiana. And I do think we are at a point now where people have moved past the brand bias, right? And it's so hard in our sport here because it's just ingrained in us, and the best brands and the biggest brands always have the best players, and the best players usually win championships in this sport. Unlike, say, college basketball, you can get a guy or two that can just make all the difference and flip you from worst to best in a year. NFL, the way the draft process works, you can go from worst to best in any given year. In college football, that just hasn't been the case. So when you have an Indiana brand on a helmet, and they're one of the losingest programs in the sport, it's just hard for us mentally to say, oh, yeah, they're elite. They could hang with Alabama, But after they beat Ohio State, you saw some people come over and say, okay, wow, that's a really good win. Then after what they did to Alabama, even more people came over. And then this past weekend, beating Oregon for the second time in the fashion that they did. I mean, that game was over before halftime. I think people have finally moved past the brand bias and say, you know what, this Indiana team is a worthy national championship team. They made it here for a reason. They're dominating everyone, and I can't wait to see this game. Now, are they unbeatable? Of course not. And we put out our prediction episode today over here at On 3 with J.D. Piquel as a guest, laid out everything Miami has to do if they want to win this national championship. But, yeah, there's a reason that Indiana has a shot to be 16-0 for the first time in the modern era of this sport.
16-0. Who'd you pick?
Well, I'm going with the Indiana Hoosiers. I mean, I'm not gonna overthink this thing here. They've been the most dominant team for a reason. I think they've been not just the best story in college football, but the best story in sports. And I just like I said before, there's so much that you have to deal with a quarterback that is this cerebral. He reminds me so much of Andrew Luck, the way he approaches the game. The ball placement is incredible. Those wide receivers are great. And even when you can make his life complicated, which I know Miami can do on defense with guys like Bain and Mesidor, and Keontae Scott's one of the best football playmakers in this country, whenever you do make his life difficult, he doesn't panic, and he can get out of trouble with his legs. And then, like I said, you also have to deal with the two running backs, so that's a problem. On the flip side of that, how much does Miami need to rush for? What I said today is Miami needs to win time of possession while being even or better in penalties and in turnovers. And no one's been able to do that against Indiana. Only 2 teams have won time of possession and penalties against Indiana. That was Iowa, who played them to 5 points this year, and then that was the Buckeyes, who played them to 3 points. Penn State also played them to 3 points, and they were just about tied in those 2 categories. So if you can win time of possession, that means that you're moving the football, you're probably running it pretty well, and you're getting Indiana off the field on their third downs. That's what that means. Can Miami do that? Like I said, they had 41 minutes time of possession against Ole Miss, but somehow found themselves in a tight game. Why? Because they committed double-digit penalties. The last loss for Miami against SMU, they committed 12 penalties to SMU's 4. They held the ball way longer than them, but they turned it over and they committed penalties. They can't do that if they're going to beat a team like Indiana who doesn't make mistakes.
Give me one Big Ten team and one SEC team that in 2 years can dream of being the next Indiana. They get it all right with transfers and portals and payments and chemistry, and they can have that meteoric rise from Big Ten and from SEC, one each.
Okay, well, let me. I just got to follow up with a question here. Are you saying that sort of comes from the bottom of the conference?
Yes. They're out there lost and forgotten.
Lost and forgotten in the Big Ten and in the SEC.
And SEC. Well, the Big Ten one has a common denominator with Indiana, for me.
Yeah.
It's UCLA with the James Madison coach.
Yeah, I mean, look, for UCLA to do that, I mean, look, they just need to, if they could just run their own city, that'd be a good start. Yeah, and just,
it would be a start, yes.
Than be USC. I'm thinking more like what about a Nebraska type of team? I don't know. I mean,
they're not down and out. They're not lost enough.
Yeah, 7-5, 8-4 is not down and out enough. Well, I mean, I guess you could say UCLA if you're just picking the bottom of the barrel because it got bad. And you want to follow the James Madison track record at this point. I think anyone who coaches at James Madison, any school is going to try and sign him up because of what Kirk Cignetti has done. From the SEC side of things, I mean, does South Carolina count? Or going 9-3 a year ago, was that too good for your
I think it would count. I would want a little more lost and a little more forgotten, but I'll give you that one. I'm going with Kentucky.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are, man. A lot of people really like Will Stein, and I think he's going to be able to get the quarterback position figured out. And again, Kentucky's the type of place, as long as they keep the same mentality that they've had on the defensive side of the football, I think that could happen. Because say what you will about Kentucky, they've always given these teams like Georgia and Ole Miss, they've given them fits because they do play good defense. If they can keep that going with everything that Will Stein's going to be able to do on the offensive side of the football and hit on some of these quarterbacks in the transfer portal, then that is certainly the case. I'm still not down and out on Mississippi State. I mean, I almost played for Mississippi State coming out of high school. And Shane Beamer, coach at South Carolina now, is who recruited me over there at Mississippi State on Sylvester Croom's staff. I want them to have a good program, and I think they can have a good program. You saw them be able to have a great win this year, say it like against Arizona State. Can they do that later in the year after the injuries pile up and the depth starts to show itself? I saw a funny thing this week from a Mississippi State fan who said, maybe we should just save up our NIL money for once every 4 years, and we just have walk-ons play for free for 3 years in a row, save it up, use it all once every 4 years to go get the best players in the transfer portal, and maybe we could win a championship like once a decade. Hey, whatever it takes for them in Starkville, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. How realistic do you think? I saw that as well, and at first I thought, okay, but then I think the out years would be so depressing that if you didn't hit the center of the bullseye in that go for it year, then you would just be left with nothing.
I think in that particular situation, like if you had some administrators actually come in and try and pull that off, which it rationally makes sense. If you can't go and compete with Texas and Georgia, Alabama every year in the spending, what if you just saved up and did it once every 4 years? you would have to make it a known thing, right? It'd have to have a name. It would have to be branded. It would have to be marketed like this is the year. This is the portal year, right? And you'd have to have like a team of marketers
tanking
so that
for
every
29.
player, yeah, exactly. So that every player would know, like, okay, so this is a thing that they do here, and I want to go play at Mississippi State during one of the things they do. Because imagine if you pulled that off and you went and, let's say, the first time they did it, they made the college football playoff, maybe won in the first round, made it to the second round, then got bounced out, right? Well, you didn't accomplish your goal, but at least you showed a proof of concept, right? So when you build up the marketing for the next time and you get a lot of great transfer portal players and you get a great quarterback to come in, if you were able to get to the national championship game and fall short, all of a sudden you've increased that proof of concept. It becomes a thing. Again, I don't know how realistic something like that is, but I do think you're going to have a lot of people thinking outside the box. We have to try something here. It's the wild, wild west in college football. Let's get creative and find a way to have some success, even if it's in an untraditional way.
Yeah. David, the big news today that Dante Moore going to return to Oregon after having a really nice season. I mean, you look at all the mock drafts until he made that decision to go back to Oregon. He was the can't-miss number 2 pick in pretty much every mock draft. What do you make of his decision to return to Oregon, and what does that mean for Oregon already saying, hey, we've got a pretty good quarterback coming back that already knows our system for 2026? What did you make of that decision?
Yeah, well, I think it's huge for Oregon, and I think it's huge for Dante Moore in terms of his maturation. And again, we live in an era where he might make more at Oregon next year than on his rookie deal. I mean, probably not if he was going to be a top 2 pick or even the second quarterback taken off the board. But, there's a scenario that exists now where quarterbacks in college are making more than some guys on their rookie deal. So, but it's when you have the talent that Dante Moore is and you have the ability to play on Sunday for a long time, you're still thinking long term. And I think that he made that decision based off, hey, against some of the best competition this year, I didn't show up and help my team win. I think that if I stayed for another year, I could get better, not only improve my draft stock even more, even if it means going from 2 to 1, but I'll be a better pro. I'll be more ready for the league. So I think that it's huge for him and for Oregon. Now, what does that mean for Dylan Raiola transferring in? I mean, we were all watching the news together here on 3, and, there's a lot of speculation that, well, Raiola already knew that information, or else, he wouldn't have signed. I don't know how true that is. I mean, we're going to find out. Let's see what happens. He might re-hit the portal here while we're on the phone, for all I know.
Better do it quick.
I have a hard time believing that he's going to go out there to be a backup. I also have a hard time believing that he's going to go out there and beat out Dante Moore, because even if he goes and all things are even, you would go with the incumbent. So I'm very interested to see what happens there.
Yeah, it's storylines galore, especially up there in Eugene. But David, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy this national championship on Monday, and we'll talk all about it next Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David. David Cohn with us every week talking college football now with Jake Crane that you hear every Monday with John Harden, really kicking off the week about 11:08 or 09 or so every week with Crane and Cohn as a part of On 3. Bryant, you know that I'm going to be borderline insufferable about this point if Indiana wins. You know the point. The 21st century thingy.
Oh, yeah. No, you absolutely will.
And that will be the 14th different college football team to win it in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I'll roll through them: Oklahoma, Miami, Ohio State, USC, Texas, Florida, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, Florida State, Clemson, Georgia, and Michigan. And if Indiana wins, they will be team number 14. So many people, college football is a cartel. It's fixed on day one. You know who's going to be at the end no matter what. The other sports in the 21st century, baseball's the leader. That almost gets as much criticism about cartel. It's fixed. No need to go to spring training. It's down to 4 teams by April 20th. The Dodgers are in a great run. But the Yankees were in a great run. Baseball still leads with 16. NBA catching up the last few years. You had Toronto. You had Cleveland. You had Toronto. You had Milwaukee. You had Denver. You had Oklahoma City. NBA now at 12. NFL, the ultimate spread the wealth. Everybody starts at the same starting line. There's really no advantage. NFL's at 13. College football's at 13. And then the bracketed darling sport of college basketball, it's at 13.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, they did miss a year, but I think KU was going to win that year. But they did miss a year because of COVID. They didn't crown a champion. Everybody else crowned champions every other year of the 21st century in college basketball. Did not crown a champion in 2020. College football would move to 14, one ahead. I'm looking at the college basketball rankings this week. Arizona, that would be no new one.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State that got drubbed last night, I don't think they're winning it. UConn would not be new. Michigan would be for the 21st century, so we could have a short lead for college football.
Yeah.
Purdue sure could win it. Duke, no, nothing there. Houston could.
Mm-hmm.
Can Nebraska win it all?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
They can go on a run, but I don't think they can win it all.
I don't think. Can Gonzaga?
I don't think so. I love Gonzaga, but I don't think this is the year for them.
I like this Vandy team.
Yeah.
But if Vandy's the 10th ranked team in the country, after what I saw against Memphis, then college basketball is not very deep.
So bad game, Brett. I mean, that was a one-off with this Vandy team. I mean, that was just a poor effort all around.
So my point being, if Indiana pulls it off and we have a new college football team to get to 14 and have more than college basketball, I get so tired of hearing people say, well, anybody can win it in college basketball come March. Binghamton, no, they're not. No, they're not. You know they're not. And it's not accurate that every team has a tournament where every team participates.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I love that you use Binghamton as the team every time because I do love some Binghamton. So
I didn't make up St. Ignatius of Leo this time.
That's
like
right,
or
what was it, Georgian Court that Temple played?
Georgian Court of Assumption. Making 10 threes, and the little guy comes out of nowhere.
That's exactly right,
Yeah, you know what happens when the little guy comes out of nowhere? It makes down bracket easier for Arizona and UConn and Michigan and Purdue and Florida.
It sure does, yes. It just those teams are just licking their chops when they see that
Goliath.
Yep, but those
great.
Those big boys down the road, they're just licking their chops. But yeah, it will be it will be an incredible story if Indiana does win the national championship, and feel pretty good that they have a really good chance to do it, especially.
I'm really for them.
No, I am too. I absolutely am for Indiana.
And it's no animus at the U. Now, what I think would really be frustrating, aggravating, and head scratching, and I might re-examine that no interference call if Miami won by 2 or 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that.
Then I got to spend the rest of my life going,
what if?
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be torturous.
Could have been us.
Yeah. Absolutely, that would be running through your mind. So hopefully, Indiana makes it look easy. I think they can, but this is one of those, for me at least, where I really don't. If Miami wins, cool. If Indiana wins, cool.
Well, it wouldn't ruin my night if Miami.
No. I think I'd rather Indiana win just because of the story. But I really don't have a dog in the fight. But let's get to another break, and when we return, we're going to rank some NFL quarterbacks, the remaining quarterbacks in the playoffs. We rank them next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
It's a new year, Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When life crashes into you, literally, NST Law doesn't just show up with a briefcase. They show up with heart. They sit with families after devastating wrecks, look them in the eye, and say, "We've got you." No scripts, no legal jargon, just real people fighting for real justice. If someone turned your life upside down, NST helps you stand back up. They've been doing this for over 35 years and have won billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go to nstlaw.com.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Good afternoon.
Sports 56 traffic.
Working with a couple of ranks right now as it starts to build with more volume right on schedule through Midtown. In a couple of spots like 240 South at South Parkway, it's busy but moving. I-40 East over here from Warford to Hollywood all the way over to White Station. Hey, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. If you can help the sick kids out, please do. stjude.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford and Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound of coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together with
the divisional round is right around the corner, and so we need to rank some NFL quarterbacks. The remaining a good group, a different group. I would love to go back and find our rankings from last playoff or the playoff before and just compare those names with the names that we have that will be playing this weekend, because I know it's a lot of different names on there, but still some really fun quarterbacks on here, some very talented quarterbacks on here. And I'm really curious to see how all of our lists differ from each other.
Who was the hardest one for you to place in the 8?
Sam Darnold.
Landon?
I would probably have to second that. It was either Sam Darnold or trying to find where to put Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy was in there.
All right, mine was Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
He was for me, but I felt good about where I placed him.
Mine was pretty easy for Caleb Williams.
Okay. Then you start.
Okay, I'll start. I'll go from 8. I'll work my way up to number 1. Number 8, C.J. Stroud.
Same.
Number 7, Caleb Williams. Number 6, Sam Darnold. Number 5, Bo Nix. Number 4, Brock Purdy. Number 3, Drake May. Number 2, Matt Stafford. And number 1, Josh Allen.
1 and 2 pretty easy, wasn't it?
I thought so.
1 and
Number 1
2
was certainly easy for me.
Yeah, and 2 with meritorious service and the Super Bowl ring and all that good stuff. Okay, Landon.
Yeah, well, as we already mentioned, I'm going to start from 8 as well. My number 8 also C.J. Stroud. Just from what I saw last week, he's got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, that didn't build confidence.
No, it did not. That defense did, though. That defense for the Texans certainly did. Number 7 for me, I went with Bo Nix just because of what I've seen.
I had old Bo.
Yeah, that's just because of what I've seen this year. I mean, he's still managing the team very well.
Mostly good Bo.
Yeah,
it's been good.
He's rarely bad, Bo.
Good, but not great is how I would probably sum it up. Number 6, I went with Brock Purdy. Number 5, I went Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Number 4, I had Caleb Williams based on what he did in that game against the Packers in the fourth quarter.
You had no trouble placing him.
No. Number 3, Drake May. I went number 2, Josh Allen, and number 1, Matt Stafford.
Interesting.
You did, okay. Allowed. Championship prevailed over lack of?
Well, I think for Stafford, I see more of a complete game with him. I feel Josh Allen is going to destroy you with his legs, which is exactly what he did. And he can throw the ball too, but he just doesn't have a lot of weapons to throw to. So him literally carrying the team with the tush pushes, with his running style is really good. But I feel like Matt Stafford in the pocket is just a better QB in my opinion.
It's the least best supporting cast around
it is
Josh Allen since maybe his rookie year. It's a team of tight ends.
It is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean,
you got to stretch the defense at some point, don't you?
You do. You absolutely have to.
Now, if they play way up for the tight ends, he can stretch it with running the ball.
Yeah, no, he definitely can. I mean, he is extremely talented. I love Josh Allen. Love watching him play. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the guys around him certainly nowhere near the best that he's had.
Think what he would make now, NIL, after a year or two at Wyoming.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was before his senior year or junior year, but where he got really known, he goes to Manning Passing Academy down in Louisiana at Nicholls State and showed off that arm. And everybody just, what in the world? I mean, he just threw it to Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's the arm strength on him is incredible.
He wouldn't get out of town without a new deal.
No, not at all. I mean, that
I think
deal
money
would be
worked out
beautiful
for him.
Sure, yeah. I think everything has worked out for him.
Yeah.
Both
And he's
on and
number-
off the field.
He's number 1 for me, Stafford 2. My third quarterback is 0-1 in the playoffs with 1 interception and 1 touchdown. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Sam Darnold.
It's not great. Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, I was all over the board with Sam Darnold, and I think if I could redo mine, I might have him ahead of Bo Nix. I was all over it. Couldn't figure out where to put Sam Darnold on my list.
Drake May 4, Brock Purdy 5.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is 5-2 in playoffs with 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
System quarterback, Brett.
He is. I agree with that. And he's kind of the opposite Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Galaxy of stars around him.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Number 6 for me, the tough one for me to place. I think he's a lot. He's just a great player. Can make every throw, and is getting the decision-making, judgment, thinking man, quarterback stuff really down. Had it at Oklahoma, had it at USC, has had it in 2 years with the Bears. Caleb Williams. 7, Bo Nix. I just can't get a lot of the Auburn stuff out of my head about him. I probably should. And 8, C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. So we're all unanimous on C.J. Stroud. I came down to who do I put at 8th between him and Caleb Williams.
Well, not for me.
I couldn't figure out where to put
the strides that Caleb has taken from last year to this year has been incredible.
And with the coach, it looks like they're going to go on a long run together.
Yeah.
But we thought that 2 years ago about C.J. Stroud.
Sure.
We thought it a year ago about Jaden Daniels.
I mean, the thing about me with Caleb Williams, he makes one throw that you go, oh my gosh.
That
was one of the best throws I've seen all year. Then right after that, he has 4 of the worst throws you've ever seen in your life. And then he has another great throw.
Yeah, he's figuring it out.
He's slowly, but compared to all those other quarterbacks.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
I could, well, and maybe you should target Rome a little bit more out there. I don't know.
He absolutely
should. So I mean, maybe that would help him. Maybe Rome could be built in a day. He targeted Rome more.
And he wears number 1.
That's right. Yeah,
I want classics this weekend. I think we're going to have them.
It feels like
it's going to be a good playoffs.
Some of these matchups, some of the storylines around them, it feels like we could. I mean, last weekend we got some good games. I think we could be getting some more good games.
We thought we were done with the Patriots for a long, long time, didn't we?
Yeah, a lot of people hoped we were done with Patriots for a long, long time. Now, here's my question. So we always talk about building the evil empire with dynasties and stuff like that, and becoming the most hated. Is it like a new lease for the Patriots in terms of like getting to be the most hated, or do they just
did the expiration date of hate wear out?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, is this a complete new era for the Patriots? So is it just a complete new expiration date?
Well, the hate was Hoodie and Brady.
Exactly. But it's still the same logo. And
it just feels different.
I'm just curious if people are going to be
as
like,
hateful, does it?
It doesn't. But I'm just curious, are there people out
now,
there that are like, that's the
part.
Patriots?
The Brady over Kurt Warner Super Bowl, they were America's upset darling.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little like Duke and Bobby Hurley and Leitner beating Vegas in '91.
I mean, I think that's how
we loved them then.
Yeah, I think that's how most of them start. I mean, the Golden State with the Warriors. I mean, they were that fun-loving team. Everybody
that's how
loved
they start.
them. You know, that little guard that's making all these
Do we
shots.
hate Indiana in 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I don't know. That's if Indiana's still a powerhouse in 2 years.
Indiana.
Well, if they are, do we hate them?
Yes. Kurt Signetti will be an easy person that people
will
get
be,
behind
Brian.
hating.
Brian, he will be because he leads with his chin, doesn't he?
does.
0-0. He went up there and flamed everybody at Big Ten Media Days.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he is the one where it'll be very easy for people in a couple years if they build this dynasty at IU to go, man, I do not like this team. I do not like that coach. I just wish they'd all leave and this team would be terrible again.
I don't remember San Antonio. Did they get into Evil Empire with Pop? They did, didn't they?
They did. I would say they were probably the least of the teams that we named.
Because Duncan and Ginobili and
Yeah.
Parker were all just so fundamentally sound on them.
They were, but there was still some
Duncan whining about every call got old.
Yeah.
He never committed foul, and he was always fouled.
That's right. Yeah,
but he was always great.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I loved those San Antonio teams, but I do think there was some,
Best screen-setting team ever.
Well, yeah, you just
stretch.
listed those guys. When you got all those guys on a team, that'll happen. So yeah, I mean, but I'm curious. Like, are we gonna get if the Patriots get to let's say they get to the Super Bowl?
It's always just been class warfare about the Dodgers, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, that it has been, and it will remain that way.
Red Sox became evil.
They did. Yankees always evil.
Cubs didn't win enough, or they would have been.
They would have been. But yeah, no, I think baseball is the one where you can kind of get there and stay there with being the evil empire. And
yeah, did the Braves? They never closed out enough World Series though to be.
I don't
evil.
I don't think the Braves ever got to evil empire. But I am curious. Like, let's say the Patriots get to the Super Bowl this year. Will there be people out there that are like, I just can't stand the Patriots back again? I mean, this team, they're the worst.
I think I'm closer to that than anything else.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, they kind of got theirs.
They did.
But these guys didn't get those.
No. I mean, it's completely. I mean, Drake May. I mean, seems like a very likable person. I mean, I love Mike Vrabel. I think he's a great coach.
I do too.
I mean, I don't want to hate this group. So I mean, but I feel like people are.
No need to hate Robert Kraft and his son sitting up in their box.
No, but they'll catch it too. I mean, they'll be kind of what ties it all together. Oh, Kraft at it again. I mean, they'll lead all of it.
Well, there'll only be one headline if it's Kraft at it again.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get fun games this week.
But I just left you hanging, didn't I?
That's okay. I mean,
there's nowhere to go with that.
I knew it was there right when I said it. Right when we started talking about Kraft, I said it's right there. It is right
it
there.
Is.
You took a swing at it, and I cannot fault you for that. But yeah, look a lot of these lines. I mean, Bills right now, 1.5 point underdog. You've got New England a 3-point favorite. The Rams a 3-point favorite. So it feels like Vegas thinking we could get some really fun games this weekend. The only touchdown favorite Seahawks at home against the 49ers. So hopefully we get some thrillers.
And trust me, people, when we use the H word, we're playing, we're talking about the sports aspect of it. It's not real vitriol, animus.
Definitely
not. Do we just hate Kroenke because we're supposed to?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just it's one of those things.
Even though he's been proved to be right on everything, and he's made three more fortunes like he needed it.
I don't think they'll fix it.
I guess you can always use another fortune.
Hey, I mean, if I could, I would, right?
Yeah. I mean, bring in more into the wheel rating, they'd all be happy.
Oh, no doubt about it. It'd be great.
Our title sponsor this hour, it's our friends at Landers Ford, and we appreciate them so much, and that's where you can trade up and drive into 2026 for less. And you got to start it at Landers Ford in Collierville. The new 2025 Ford F-150, $11,750 off MSRP, or 3.9 APR financing for 72 months. They're making room for incoming new Fords with their best offers right now to start out the new year. It's their 2026 trade-up event. Trade and save. They're paying top dollar with $11,750 off new F-150s and more for your trade. You could even lower your payments. Shop one of the largest selections of new Fords at the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis, and that's Landers Ford in Collierville. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums, no fine print. What you see is what you get. That's the Landers Ford difference. Get started now with their Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. Don't wait. The best new Fords with the biggest savings will sell very quickly. Give them a call to schedule your test drive first thing tomorrow morning. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This is it. Your last chance to upgrade your vehicle for less. Shop our biggest year-end savings ever at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. That's right. To finish the year strong, we're rolling out last chance savings on a huge selection, just in time for the holidays. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. New 2025 Ford F-150, Explorer, Expedition, Mach-E, Transit, and Lightning. 0% APR available. 0 down payment, 0 payments for 90 days. Want to save even more? Get $1,000 Ford bonus cash, plus we're paying top dollar for your trade. Get started online now at LandersFordMemphis.com. Don't miss your last chance of the year to upgrade for less. Give us a call to schedule your test drive today. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report, Memphis market with approved credit from Ford Credit. Minimum monthly payment of $15.15 per thousand finance, regardless of down payment. Interest accrues from inception. Price tax title and $6.95 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 1/5/26.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme Cannabis, that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com. Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied.
Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Five-Ash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
You live your life like a canary in a coal mine. Look at
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brown. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy? I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number comes from college basketball, and it is the number 30. Division I men's basketball players to have at least 200 points, 150 assists, and 30 steals through 16 games of a season over the last 30 years. Trae Young did it in the 2017-2018 season, and now Purdue's Braden Smith has done it this season. So over 200 points, 150 assists, and 30 steals. Right now, he is at 226 points, 156 assists, and 30 steals exactly on the young season. Purdue, they're in action tonight, I believe at 5:30, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 5:30 against Iowa. So he'll be back in action tonight, but he has been a really fun player
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, no, that will be a really fun game. I believe Iowa coming off a loss.
And Purdue can win it all, can't they?
Yeah, no, I think they can. They have a very veteran-led, older guys on their team, which I think is good for the tournament. And so, yeah, I mean, I think they could definitely win it all. One loss on the season so far was against that Iowa State team that we mentioned earlier. So, yeah, I think they're in a really good spot.
Yeah, Iowa State got to put two of them last night, didn't they?
I mean, it had to come to an end at some point, and it kind of
better than end like that than at the buzzer.
That's right, and I guess, but that it felt like that seemed like a good spot for Kansas to get a win at home.
It did.
But I did not expect it to play out the way it played out last night.
And rare for it to be kind of plucky Kansas.
Honestly. And I don't necessarily know if they are
at Fog Allen.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Is like, they lost and it was a blowout, but also they're playing Kansas and at Fog Allen. But so now one less undefeated team. We're now only down to I believe 3. If I'm not mistaken,
that's
undefeated
correct.
teams.
Miami won big last night.
Yeah, they're rolling right now.
At Central Michigan?
I believe that. I think, was it on the road or was it a home game?
It was against Central Michigan. I'm not certain.
I think it might have been at home.
I checked in once. They were so far ahead. I was into checking in.
Yeah, no, they've made it look easy. Now, they haven't been playing the best of opponents. I was reading somewhere. And whatever it was that I was reading, pointed them out in terms of bracket and different things like that. And they said, if they do not win their conference, no matter if they're undefeated and they win their conference, they will not be, or they lose in the conference tournament or the conference championship game, they will not be an at-large team. I mean,
Right, I thought the fairest humans on earth was the basketball committee.
That's right. No, I guess not. And Miami, Ohio. Last night at home, 100-61 over Central Michigan.
But at home, okay, good stuff. My big number is 325. That's the number of games played in his Memphis Grizzlies career by Ja Morant. 325. So average of about 46 games a year in his 7 years. I don't think he's got any more in him as a Grizzly. Do you?
No,
I think it's going to end at 325.
Yeah, I think that news we got earlier this morning that he will not play tomorrow. I think that tells you that we've probably seen the last of Ja Morant in a Grizzlies uniform.
Today took ending in flames to bigger flames, didn't it?
I don't know. I mean, was today that bad in terms of Ja Morant?
Pretty bad in the discourse with whatever was going on with Vince Williams.
That's true. And, yeah, I mean, I've seen some
I don't
online...
think any big deal.
No, I've seen some online lip readers, but I don't want to trust online lip readers. And, I mean, that's just that. I didn't think... I mean, and then I've seen all the news about the interaction with the reporter asking questions. I had no problem with that. I thought it was... I thought the reporter was just as much at fault as Ja was. I didn't think today was... I mean, it wasn't pretty, to say the
U.S. reporter, international reporter.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either.
I don't know. Sounded and I mean, you get get in trouble by assuming.
Sure
I didn't recognize the voice. Maybe it is somebody from Memphis. Maybe it's an American reporter. I didn't recognize the voice.
It was extremely bad look, though.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty day at all. But I don't. In terms of like the whole like Ja Morant career ending in flames, I don't know in 3 or 4 years, at least me, if I'm going to look back to today and be like, oh man, all that stuff that happened in Berlin was awful.
Right? High hard one. You ready?
Yeah.
How quickly or should they ever? I'm not saying retirement. I'm just saying reissuing uniform number 12.
I think.
They issued POW, and I couldn't believe it.
I think, I would find it very hard to believe that somebody next year will be in 12. I think.
No.
I think the year
I
after
think
that.
it'd be a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really.
Too fresh
Huh.
with, and with all the people that will still be wearing them.
Sure.
You don't want to go to the game and just see anybody out there.
No, that's true. But I mean,
but not retired.
You just said the
it
amount.
will never be retired.
No, it won't. But I mean, I know he's a big star. Like
POW shouldn't have been, but it shouldn't have been reissued.
No. But I
couldn't
mean,
believe at the time Mark didn't raise Cain about that.
That's a really good point. I mean, he would have been was in a perfect spot.
And he would have noticed.
Yeah.
He noticed everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I know Ja's a star. And look, I have no issue with Ja Morant or anything. But I mean, you just mentioned how many games he's played in, and the average per season of how many games he played in. I get it; he's a big star, and he has his own shoe and all that stuff. But like, I mean,
Well, Brian, you just made a good case of right there. Next year, somebody wants it, put it on them.
Well, I'm not
Move
even.
on.
I think like let's let next year get out of the way. Let's not wear a 12 next year. But what would that be? The 2027, 28 year? Like if you draft a rookie and he wants to wear number 12, or you trade for a guy and they want to wear number 12, like I personally don't have an issue with it. But we shall see, because it feels like we are getting close to having those type of conversations. Well, we're going to get to a break here in a second, but before we do that, let me remind you, perfect time to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South. They've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it in stock. If you need a new pair of jeans, Frontier Western is the place you need to get to. They've got all the brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect style and size for you. While you're there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dam Post, and Durango. That's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. So head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Well, let's wrap up the second hour, get to a break. Again, a shortened third hour. We got to get out because 5:30 we'll have Ole Miss Georgia pregame show for that 6 o'clock tip. But when we return, Kevin Sweeney, he'll join us to talk college basketball. That's next on Sports Time.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders Roofing and Restoration. Let me ask you something. Are you seeing unsightly water spots on your ceiling, in your home, your office, or even worse, mold? Have you noticed shingles missing, pieces in your yard, or signs your roof just doesn't look right anymore? Here's the facts. What you see inside usually means there's already a bigger problem above you. At Metro Builders, we don't just guess, we inspect. Our team performs a full roof inspection right on site. We take detailed photos, document everything, and show you exactly what's happening with your roof. Whether it's a simple repair or a full replacement, don't let anyone tell you it needs to be replaced when all it needs is a repair. We offer free inspections, on-the-spot estimates, clear explanations, and yes, financing is available. Before a small issue turns into major damage, make the phone call that protects your home. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. Or check us out online at metrobuildersmemphis.com. Metro Builders Roofing and Restoration. We don't just build, we build world class.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still working this serious crash. It's had traffic shut down up here for at least 45 minutes, maybe longer. 55 southbound at South Parkway. Whatever you got to do to avoid this area over here, this wreck's going to be out here for a while. Apparently it's pretty serious the way they're gathered up. They've got the accident reconstruction team that looks like already on the scene here from the Highway Patrol. Again, it's blocked up pretty good on 55 southbound at South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Check them out at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Wednesday afternoon. Again, we're out a little early this afternoon. Ole Miss and Georgia, they're in action tonight at 6 o'clock. So we'll have the pregame show right here on Sports 56. So we'll get out here right before 5:30 to make way for that pregame show. But unfortunately, Kevin Sweeney not going to be with us this afternoon. He informed us earlier this Verizon outage across the country. The entire country places dealing with Verizon outages and his phone being affected by that. So not able to catch up with him. We'll get back with him
wow, that's
next
trending.
Wednesday. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I saw it earlier today, and I thought I don't remember what I saw, if it was just Verizon or if it was Verizon, maybe a couple of other places as well that were being affected by it. But yeah, a nationwide outage that is affecting a lot of people right now with their cellular devices. So we'll catch back up with Kevin next Wednesday, talk a lot of college hoops. But in the meantime, plenty of college hoops to talk about, and actually some breaking news that came down earlier during our show that the transfer portal is going to be shortened in college athletic or in college basketball. We know with football, the 15-day period that wraps up on Friday, earlier today, the NCAA announced the transfer window will be open for just 15 days as well in basketball. It will start at the conclusion of the NCAA tournament, and so for this year, it will run between April 7th and the 21st.
I think that is good that we're getting some hard and fast dates. Now, can all of this, can it stand up to legal scrutiny? Yeah. You know, it takes one case to go, no, I can leave whenever I want.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's that. It feels like with anything in college athletics now, you kind of have to have that disclaimer of it of, hey, this is what it is right now, but when somebody ultimately, takes it to court, who knows what happens and who knows how it changes. But I do like the idea of right now because, again, and I've heard some people, I've seen some people a little confused. The deadline is just to enter the transfer portal. You can sign and commit at any point after that, during or after that 15 days. It is just entering your name into the transfer portal.
I got you.
Closes on that 15 days. So I don't hate it. Like, I do think there will still be somebody that goes out there and says, I decided 25 days that I didn't want to be here, and I should still have that same right to leave and enter the transfer portal, and it'll probably be changed, whatever. But I do like the 15 days. And I think going back to, I don't have in front of me the, how long it was for PJ Haggerty to ultimately make the decision. But I remember it was very close to the deadline last year that he made that decision. And now Penny Hardaway is saying to the media out of his mouth that he waited to go out and get some guys out of the transfer portal because he was trying to hold off on PJ Haggerty.
Thought he had a better deal.
Exactly. And so I think, shortening it down and putting it to only 15 days, I think probably a lot better than the 30-day model that it was at.
I like the player liberation freedom. I like the players being paid. I don't think the players from yesteryear, I don't think they were used. I don't think they were abused. They knew, eyes wide open, what they were signing up for. And it was a real good deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was.
Now this is a really, really, really great deal.
That's a much better deal. If you put the two deals in front of somebody, obviously one is a whole lot better than the other.
I didn't think the money would get this big this fast, but that's the wacky thing about liberation and freedom. There's no constraints on it.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right.
The water runs where it runs.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm with you. I didn't expect it to look like this, but it's where we're at right now, and I do think that people are trying to find ways to get it to some point where it can be, sufficeable, where it can just, kind of exist without it being these crazy numbers and these crazy things. Maybe not even the money amount, but just some of these crazy things that we're seeing across college athletics. So yeah, I don't know where we go from here, but the NCAA making that decision to shorten it down to just 15-day transfer portal period.
Who would have to win it in college basketball this spring to be the equivalent of Indiana in football? And no joking. You don't say Indiana in basketball.
No. Honestly, Brett, I think Vanderbilt is a good team there. I mean,
never been to a Final Four.
Exactly. I mean, a team that just has not had
maybe
much
1-8, maybe.
Yeah, I think there might be one in there, but that's a team that they go out there and I mean, let's throw the similarities out there. They go out there and hire the James Madison basketball coach to come in and take over, and now in year 2, they're still undefeated, and a lot of people like what they've seen from this Vanderbilt team. So yeah, if they go out there, I mean, I think it would be a very similar story of kind of this unknown coach that goes in and takes over a program that hasn't had much success. And
it's got its act together, doesn't it?
I saw somebody tweet that out, and I've been thinking about it, but I hadn't really put it all together. Baseball team's always been really good. I mean, they've been in a really good spot.
Great
program. He's been fantastic.
Two-time champion.
I mean, yeah. But men's basketball, women's basketball. I think women's basketball is still undefeated as well with the basketball team. Football, I mean, where this athletic department is unbelievable right now.
One more, not a sport, but it makes it all hum.
What's that?
Facilities.
Oh yeah, no, you were right about that. I mean, they have just done everything right, and they are in a great spot as a complete athletic department, and that could not be said just 2-3 years ago with Vanderbilt.
And Brian, during the fall of COVID and no fans, there was just no atmosphere they'll ever touch Vandy that day for me. Yeah. It was just nothing.
Yeah.
And and Ole Miss routed them. Matt Corral had a big game. That was as pitiful as anything you'd ever go to.
Yeah, and then you were there just as a fan for the a week 0 game against Hawaii.
When
they were doing they were just starting all the renovations. So I mean,
they did, and it was quite a process. But you have to just like out at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. It's progress. It's 3 steps backwards for 5 or 6 or 7,000 forward. Right. That's what Vandy finally committed to it.
Mm-hmm. No, they did, and they've been all in, and it is now
the money's rolling.
Yeah, it is,
and it's prodigious.
Oh, absolutely. So they're in a great spot right now, and I think they've got a fun basketball team. We said earlier 1 of 3, 1 of 4. I forgot Arizona. Obviously, Arizona, number 1 team in the country, undefeated, 16-0. So Arizona, Vanderbilt, Nebraska, and Miami, Ohio. The only 4 undefeated teams remaining in the country. That is just it's incredible that we are down to 4 and that we're down to those 4. I mean, I would never have imagined Vanderbilt, Nebraska, and Miami, Ohio on January 14th would be 3 of the 4 undefeated teams in college basketball.
I wouldn't either. I don't think we'll have them much longer. All of them will get scratched up at some point. Kevin Sweeney was really apologetic about this and forewarned us of this, and now it's really rampant nationwide. I know we were going to talk mostly about basketball in shorter show when we get out at the end of this segment. That's out for the day because of Ole Miss at Georgia tonight against the really improved Michael White Bulldogs team. But this week, I know you're going to be watching tomorrow. Golf balls in the air to start the year for the PGA Tour at the Sony.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
On the Big Island.
I before I came in today, I actually looked and was looking to see when some of my guys were teeing off tomorrow. So
You got guys?
I'm locked in. Brett, do I have guys? I mean, how quickly we forget.
Are you doing picks we don't know about?
No.
What is this heresy, Landon?
I'm not doing picks. Hey, Brett, this is where
bringing in John Goin with an official ruling that if you're doing picks outside of the Wednesday pick segment, that's some type of foul.
No, not picks. But Brett, everybody knows these are the tournaments that really make you come golf pick time. I mean, you cannot just go out there and win golf picks unless you're John Goin and just not be paying attention to these. Well, Brett, Rookie of the Year trophies, Most Improved, MVP. I mean, the trophies
claim titles
are out
claimed
there.
Auburn titles.
I was the claim titles. I was the first Rookie of the Year before you, Landon. So don't be pointing at yourself.
Hey, I claimed it this year.
You can't just be the champion on day one. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard work, and the work starts tomorrow with the Sony.
but it's also starting now. This is goodbye to the Sony PGA Tour event since 1965. Not as long as we've had in Memphis. We're 7 years longer than that. But they're saying their goodbyes. They know there's no Hawaii stretch next year. They bulldozed a few weeks ago the Century Tournament of Champions over a water mitigation issue at Kapalua. Every picture you go to for the last 6 weeks at Kapalua is as green as it's ever been, and they absolutely could have had a tournament.
Of course.
The players just don't want to go out there. The travel's too hard for players and caddies and families and friends and agents and everything. And this is it at the Sony. This is it in Honolulu.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a lot different. I mean, we've been talking about it, and you've brought it up a lot of, all of the changes we're going to see on the PGA Tour just in a couple of years, and we're starting to see them play out now with, like you mentioned, these tournaments in Hawaii and kind of the precursor for a lot of changes feel like are coming on the PGA Tour. So, yeah, it's going to be a kind of a bittersweet weekend for certainly a lot bigger golf fans than I that really, enjoy these events and these early season events. And to see them come to an end will be sad to watch.
It's goodbye next week at La Quinta at the American Express, no doubt about it. It may be so long for just a while in 2 weeks at Torrey Pines. Torrey could remain, but it won't. Everything indicates from Brian Rolap and Tiger and the scarcity of events, 2027 possible schedule, that could change, that could even be a playoff event at some point. That a lot of things on the West Coast, Pebble Beach could be, the Phoenix Open is going to make it. I didn't, but a couple people last week went and played in Scottsdale, at TPC Scottsdale, and everything's up.
Oh, wow.
And one friend of mine said, and it does. Yeah. The stuff up helps us.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because, bail into it and get free relief.
That's right, yeah. I mean, we talk about that every year at that event of, hey, I mean, maybe the best play, if you're not going to, get that hole in one or get it.
Bound it off the stands.
Yeah, just hit it as far left or right as you can and see where how you come out. But, no, it's going to be a lot different. And I mean, kind of what you're alluding to. It feels like this early season, this January West Coast swing that we've seen for so many years. I mean, it feels like it's not going to be here in a year, 2 years. Certainly not after that 2027 when we're going to get all the sweeping changes.
Had a guy with the Fiesta Bowl that's pretty locked in, volunteered. It's just a great thing about every town, including ours here with the Liberty Bowl. So many people that chip in to make you feel welcome, to be in the team rooms. Really nice, man. We hit it off and visited every years and really looks out at their golf tournament and what they've done, what they've been able to do with it. But they know that they're going to stay on the schedule, but it may not be in this spot. And he had a good line. He said, I think the Tiger scarcity of events are all the ones that he didn't play through the years.
That's a great point. That is
he said Tiger's making up a schedule that he used to play.
That's right. Yes. He's just going back to let me remember what I did this year, and we'll just keep those events. And who cares about the ones that I didn't play? But hey, you might be onto something.
And he said early on, it was big, but nothing like it is now. He said did Tiger have a hole in one or just stop it really close on the wild par 3? I don't know if he had a hole in one or not, but he said no feeling like being out there that year. He said place went just bananas.
I know it did. I mean, when you got Tiger
and he was
at
the top of his game.
Of course. And now, man, I don't know if you saw his interview on TGL last night, but it was it's hard
I did
to
not.
watch.
What happened?
I mean, it just nothing crazy, but I mean, just seeing him and him talking about the injuries and the surgeries and
Tiger
all of that.
At 50.
I mean, exactly, and that's
Tiger
exactly
at
what he
50.
said. He was like, I get up and things hurt and my body's just not the same, but I guess that's what happens when you get 50.
Brian, I'll go back to at 37, and I know he's pretty caustic and pretty acerbic, and it cuts both ways with a lot of people. But Brandel Chambly said there had never been a more battered and beaten up and surgically repaired body at 37. than Tigers. 13 on all that.
Exactly. I mean, it is. It's hard to watch. It's hard to see.
It is.
But that's where we're at with Tiger Woods, and we'll see.
But he was the best.
Oh yeah, he was in coach mode last night at at TGL. Oh yeah, he was out there and talking shots and strategizing. I mean, he was all over it last night for his Jupiter Lynx team.
Yeah, that's his team.
Jupiter Lynx, that's right.
Well, that's where they all live, and they're all buds. And I did see that he made mention of Brooks Koepka. He helped grease the skids on all that.
No doubt about it. No, he was
that big.
He was huge in it.
Yeah. Nothing like getting in a new All-Star Chevy Silverado to start the new year, and you can do it from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Every new 26 Chevy Silverado you could want right there in Olive Branch, with January deals that add up to thousands in savings and financing as low as 1.9. Your good credit deserves it, and you'll get it from Drew DePriest and his great team at All-Star. First exit after you cross into Mississippi on Highway 78, take Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there. Military and first responders, you're always there for us, and you always get that extra $500 bonus. If you've been looking for a new 26 Traverse with a third row seat, they're right there in Olive Branch. For the best selection of barely driven certifieds, All-Star is spot on. Suburbans, a nice Yukon, and so many Silverados to start out the new year. Come check out this huge selection of All-Star certified Chevys and the hottest pre-owns right there at All-Star in Olive Branch. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star and you'll get the most money back for it, regardless if you bought it there or not. Together, let's drive to All-Star. Don't miss the Start the New Year and Drive event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, you can always go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, we had some really good games last night around college basketball. Not as great games tonight, but still some really fun ones. We mentioned that Iowa-Purdue game. They get started here in just a couple minutes at 5:30. You got Ole Miss, Georgia, 6 o'clock on ESPNU. Vanderbilt, can they remain undefeated in a road game against Texas? Texas just coming off a big win over Alabama. You got Utah Tech at home against Utah, South Carolina, Arkansas, Michigan. After that loss they suffered last week on the road tonight against a 10-6 Washington team. That could be a game to keep an eye on late tonight on Big Ten Network.
Michigan, Washington, Big Ten game. Yeah, okay, I got it.
You kind of got to stop before you really throw it out there. And then another interesting game in terms of these teams are in the same conference. Duke in a 10 o'clock at night tip-off against Cal, which will be 11 o'clock Durham time. They're in Cal tonight in Berkeley to take on Cal tonight on ACC Network at 10 o'clock.
God, that is late.
That's crazy.
It's really late for...
Who's that?
The person back at Learfield in the Duke.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. It's going to be a long night for them. So,
and David Shoemake, the voice of the Duke Blue Devils, was once our studio guy.
Oh, wow. How about that? So, yeah, it should be a really fun night tonight. We're about to get to Most Crunch Time. Before we do that, let me remind you real quick about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. They've been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984. Their talented team's ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today. Check out those brand new models like the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover Velar, and the Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. Perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. While you're out there, take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar, it's the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today. Get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. And don't forget about the Defender. It's available in multiple models to fit your needs. It's built for the modern explorer. And Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online, jaguarbluffcity.com. But head out there, test drive these beautiful vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's go ahead and get to Most Crunch Time.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live in your life.
have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries, its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today is the Grizzlies are in Berlin. They'll play tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. And we talked a lot about the news over there. John Morant will not play tomorrow night, but we also had some rumors, some reports, and now our friends over at the Commercial Appeal and DeMichael Cole, in addition to Lucas Fenton, they are reporting that John Morant did, in fact, purchase a home in Miami in December. Now, Miami is one of the teams Morant has been linked to in recent days, but I don't want to get too much into, well, he bought a house because he knew he's getting traded there. I mean, he bought it in December. I don't necessarily think he had any idea that he would, that Miami would even be interested in him at that time. I mean, guys want to live in Miami. I mean, if I had $3.2 million, I would also like to buy a house in Miami, but definitely adds on to a day of not great news from the Grizzlies' perspective.
It sure does not. What I learned today, I was today years old to learn that the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics has a second site.
Oh.
Did you know the other city?
What is it?
And not just various cities in and around
Sure.
the LA area, like Pasadena and Glendale and all that. Oklahoma City.
What?
Oklahoma City will host softball and all of the canoe slalom at the canoe slalom event of all time. The best in the world is in Oklahoma City, and kind of dual Olympics.
Wow.
LA and Oklahoma City.
Wow.
So Oklahoma City's built a new stadium, new arena for the Thunder.
Right.
They're going to co-host the Olympics. We know what's going on in Nashville. Come on, Memphis leadership.
Yeah.
Let's quit letting everyone lap us.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, Brett, I'm speechless. I had no idea that was even
Today
happening.
years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have done without, I guess, the fact that I didn't know that, because that is incredible. What was that sport again?
Canoe slalom.
Slalom. I don't got anything on canoe. I've never canoed before. Have you canoed? I've never.
I have. It was, but like anything else with me
you're right.
aquatic, it was a disaster.
I think I've heard the canoe story, so shame on
Oh,
me
you
for
have.
for
We
asking
rode
that.
in the last mile holding on to the boat,
Yeah.
not riding in the boat.
Yeah, no, I can believe that. But what I really could have done without today, not really the news that Dante Moore is going back to Oregon. I think that's great for Oregon, but kind of where we're at right now, where he's going to make more money at Oregon next year than he would if he was a first-round pick in the NFL draft. Just a really weird time with college athletics.
It really is. Tonight, I could have done without everything with Ja. He's halfway around the world and still embarrassing himself and embarrassing Memphis and this organization. I hope all the Ja defenders are proud, but here's something you can never change. He won one playoff series.
That is a
I
fact.
got that for the rest of the time.
You do. It's a fact. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to must win for the Tigers. 6 straight over Temple in the series, 15-11 all time. This will be about as good as it gets for opposition teams coming in the rest of the year. So
Yeah.
I hope there's some kind of crowd.
It will be. Beam me tonight. Let's see if Vanderbilt can remain undefeated on the road tonight against Texas. That Texas team got a win over Alabama last week, so we'll see if they can upset Vanderbilt tonight or if Vandy stays undefeated.
Undefeated Arizona at home, though, against in-state rival Arizona State. And we mentioned earlier, 14-1 Utah State that the Tigers will see on Valentine's. They're at home against Nevada. Cavs and Philly in the NBA, pretty good coming up about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, should be a fun night. A lot of college basketball action, a lot of SEC teams in action. We've got some fun NBA games like Brett mentioned. Cavs, 76ers on ESPN. Nuggets, Mavs, the late game on ESPN. So should be a fun night, but that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. A reminder, Ole Miss Georgia pregame coming up next. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.